We're gonna be talking about Matthews. Matthews is my favorite Charlotte suburb, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. If you're looking to move to Charlotte or are already living here and wanting to find a place that has character, convenience, and community, Matthews may be the best place for you. In Matthews, you get a walkable downtown, established neighborhoods, great access to Charlotte, great schools nearby, and a much more balanced feel compared to some of the faster growing suburbs. But there are some things that people don't realize until after they move here. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down everything you need to know about living in Matthews, the pros, the cons, home prices, neighborhoods, you name it. We're gonna be talking about all of it, commutes, lifestyles, and most importantly, who Matthews is actually a good fit for. Matthews is one of those places that consistently comes up for people who want a more balanced environment. Because Charlotte has developed so much in the last decade, these towns are becoming more difficult to find. So if you're looking for something that is not too urban, but also not too far out from the city, and still connected to everything, Matthews could be the perfect fit. So first, let's talk about what exactly is Matthews. Matthews is a suburb southeast of Charlotte, located in Mecklenburg County, and I guess partly Union County, but we'll get into that later. One of the reasons people like it so much is because it still feels like a small town. A lot of Charlotte suburbs exploded so quickly that they lost some identity, and Matthews still has a historic downtown with local restaurants, coffee shops, community events, one of the best farmers markets around, and a more connected feel overall. At the same time, you're still close to uptown Charlotte, South Park, Ballantyne, and major highways such as 74 and 485. Matthews feels more mature, established, and less chaotic than some of the newer suburbs. And honestly, that's exactly why so many people choose it. Compared to places with endless new construction everywhere, Matthews has tree-lined streets, older established neighborhoods, larger lots in many areas, and more character overall. Now, that doesn't mean it feels outdated either. It's actually evolved really well. You've got new restaurants, updated retail, breweries, you name it. There's everything that's very convenient for you. And if you're in Matthews, all of this is gonna be within 10 minutes away. Besides the businesses, you still have tons of greenways and parks, and it still maintains that community feel. One of the biggest things that separates Matthews from a lot of suburbs is the downtown area. Downtown Matthews is honestly one of the better suburban downtowns around Charlotte. You've got restaurants like Enzo's Italian Market with a wine bar. You've got Carolina Beer Temple and Grace O'Malley's, which has really cool outdoor areas. Max Speed Shop, which is great barbecue. Stack's Breakfast, one of the best breakfast places in the Charlotte area. And you got local shops, coffee spots like Brakeman's, which is a really cool converted house where people work from all the time. And then you also get, like I mentioned earlier, seasonal events, farmers markets, and it actually feels active. That's important because a lot of suburbs technically have a downtown, but nobody spends any time there. Matthews actually has energy, and the farmers market here is one of the most popular in the Charlotte area. Now let's talk about location. This is one of Matthews' biggest strengths. Matthews sits in a really strategic position because you can get access to uptown Charlotte, South Park, Ballantyne, Monroe, Indian Trail, all of these pretty efficiently. You also have access to I-485, which is Charlotte's outer loop, and typically if you're around 485, you're 20-25 minutes to everything Charlotte has to offer. It's also positioned right along Highway 74, which this one is kind of a nightmare during traffic, but it's a direct shot into uptown Charlotte. Now, like I just said, traffic still exists. Highway 74 is pretty chaotic. This is Charlotte. Things are growing fast, but compared to some other further out suburbs, Matthews still feels much more connected. Now, typical commute times. Let's talk about that. To uptown Charlotte, you're gonna be about 25 to 35 minutes depending on traffic. South Park is only about 20 to 30 minutes at most. Ballantyne is roughly 25 minutes. And so for a lot of buyers, it's a really good middle ground location. Now let's talk about housing, because this is where Matthews gets really interesting. One thing buyers love here is the variety. You can get an older ranch home, established subdivisions, or you can even get some of the newer townhomes too. But it offers a ton. That larger move up buyer, luxury homes on acreage, you got a little bit of everything in Matthews, which makes it so unique. And compared to the newer subdivisions, and as I mentioned before, you get more trees, larger lots, and it's just something that you don't get in some of these newer suburbs. Now, pricing obviously varies a lot, but generally entry-level homes are gonna be starting in the mid 300s here. Move up homes are gonna be your 500 to 800,000, and luxury homes are gonna run you over $1 million. Now, one thing I'd say is that Matthews does feel more stable. Some rapidly developing suburbs can feel overly speculative, but people love Matthews, including myself, because it's so established and doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. So a lot of buyers value that. And for families, this is a huge reason people choose Matthews. You've got access to strong public school options nearby, parks, greenways, sports programs, and family-oriented communities. And honestly, Matthews just feels easier for family life. Less intense, less rushed, and a huge community. There's a reason why a lot of people are moving here and end up staying for a long time. Now, let's talk about the downsides, because no area is perfect. Traffic on Independence is a nightmare. Avoid it if you can. But it does give you a direct shot. And there's less new and flashy if you want that ultra modern development and brand new everything. There's not much of a constant nightlife going on, and Matthews may feel too calm for you. The other big one is if you're a buyer and love the areas, you'll notice inventory is tight. Because it's such a popular area, good homes don't come available too often, and when they do, they're snatched up almost immediately. Now, that's gonna be normal in any desirable neighborhood, but I think Matthews has remained strong because it checks off a lot of boxes. You got location, stability, schools, lifestyle, and that established feel. So as Charlotte grows, areas that already have a strong infrastructure and identity tend to hold value very well. Now, obviously nobody can guarantee appreciation, but Matthews has historically remained a very desirable suburb. And I think Matthews is best for people who want that balance. They want that suburban comfort without being too far from the city or removed from amenities. And they like that established neighborhoods that value that community feel as well. And they also want, not to mention, they want access to Charlotte without living in the city. Now, also, as I mentioned, Matthews is not for the new and flashy. If you want public transport to get around, tons of nightlife, brand new construction, then another area may be a better fit for you. But if you're thinking about moving to Matthews or anywhere around Charlotte, feel free to reach out to me directly. My team and I help people relocate throughout the Charlotte area every single day, and we can help you narrow down the best areas and understand homes' values and figure out what exactly fits your lifestyle. And if this video helped you understand Matthews better, make sure to subscribe, because I'm putting out everything you need to know about living and buying in the Charlotte area today. See you next time.